Hello everyone and welcome to The Green Economy, your home of the latest sustainable insights and solutions. Today we are excited to welcome an industry leader back to the show. Today we will be exploring the technologies and innovations available in the ocean freight sector to help your perishable goods sustainably survive the journey. Please welcome to the show Merice Blank and Lisia Barmy from Maersk. Welcome back to The Green Economy. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Merice Blank and I'm head of the ocean product for Oceania market here at Maersk. And this time around, I brought with me one of our technical specialists within our company, Lisia. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you for having us today. My name is Lisia Barmy. I'm based in Sydney, Maersk, Australia, and I'm the cold chain specialist for Oceania, part of the cold chain excellence and product for the region. Really happy to be here.
It's great to have you with us. Thank you. So, agriculture is a core part of the Australian economy and the import and export trade between our country and the world. What are some of the perishable commodities we import and export to and from Australia?
Yeah, thanks. Firstly, let me start by saying that Maersk is one of the largest ocean carriers of containerized perishable cargo. And we actually move 1 in 4 refrigerated containers globally. That represents about 25% of the global reefer demand. So we have quite a large experience in this specific area. And as mentioned, we are super happy to be on the show today. Moving on to our imports and exports to and from Australia, starting with exports. As many of the listeners probably know, Australia exports more or produce more than what we consume locally. And around 70% of the total agricultural production in the country is exported. Some of the key commodities are meat, fruit, and vegetables. And when we talk fruit and vegetables, it's anything from grapes, citrus, and avocado to carrots and onions. So quite a diverse spread of commodities. We also export quite a bit of dairy and seafood. And each of these commodities have different requirements as it moves through the global supply chain. China is by far the largest market for perishable exports out of Australia, making up more than 20% of the total export demand out of this country, and then followed by USA, Japan, and Korea, representing just below 10% each of the total demand. If we look at the top 5 destinations for our exports of perishable goods out of Australia, then we add Indonesia to the list, so China, USA, Japan, Korea, and Indonesia. And together, these 5 core markets represent 55% of the total perishable goods exports out of Australia. If we move into the imports, then the food imports into Australia account for about 11% of the food consumption by value. So that compares to 70% on the export. So we actually import much less food commodities than what we export. And some of the commodities that we import into Australia is cheese, in particularly from the Americas and New Zealand. We also import a lot of avocados from New Zealand. And if you go to your local cafe for a weekend breakfast, quite a lot of the bacon on our bagels come from Denmark, so from the other side of the world. When we are cooking some of our spicy food, the garlic, much of the garlic that we consume here is imported from China. And a lot of our pharmaceutical goods actually also is moved in our refrigerated containers. If we look at the largest trade partners from the import perspective, then it's New Zealand, USA, and China that are by far the largest trade partners for our imports of perishable goods into Australia.
Are there any particular trends you see in the global food supply chain? And what is the market outlook?
Yeah, right now we are seeing quite a few trends that are changing within the supply chain. as well as within the demand and consumptions of agricultural commodities and food in particular. Inflation is putting pressure on prices, which are continuing to increase. And this also means that we become a little bit more selective around what type of food products that we eat, and we look to eat more seasonable fruits that are within season, where we can try to minimize our expenses on food. So really it's the consumers that are driving the outlook and the changes in the patterns here. We see globally a growth forecast between 4 to 5% per year from 2030 within the food industry. So we expect significant growth compared to general trade. So it's really, really positive. But this also requires investment within the global supply chain. Anything from cold stores to new ways of transporting the cargo. Visibility is a key factor that many of our customers is requesting more and more as we have new technology coming online, really changing the game for the perishable goods supply chain. And Lisia will share a lot more around some of the examples and how we are working with our customers to develop solutions. We are also seeing increased demand in end-to-end transport solutions, and this got really key during the COVID pandemic, because when we are able to offer multimodal transport solutions to our customers, their supply chain become more agile and flexible. They can change the destination of the cargo. We can support our customers to make sure that we preserve the right temperature for the goods, and also adjust the temperature during the transportation journey to adjust to external climate and making sure that the cargo arrive in pristine conditions into the final market where our consumers are waiting. We are also seeing quite a lot of changes in our customers' supply chain with regards to what product they export and the value add that they are trying to create locally to increase the revenue and the value of the goods that are exported. For example, in the meat industry, we are moving more and more from exporting cuts of meat to actually do the packaging and the cutting of the meat and delivering that either directly to shelf in the supermarket or directly to the restaurant kitchen. So there is a lot of changes within this industry, which is super interesting. We are investing a lot in cold chain facilities as Maersk, and this is also one of the key areas where we see significant requirement to modernize the supply chain. And in Q4 last year, we opened a state-of-the-art cold store in Hamilton, which is located south of Auckland in New Zealand. And here we really see the opportunity to enable trade also for Australia, given that New Zealand is a key trade partner for this country when it comes to agricultural commodities. We will be able to store over 21,000 pallets of cold chain products, and the controlled temperature within our facility ranges from -25 degrees, so for frozen cargo, up to 15 degrees Celsius for our chilled products. We will share a bit later, but if we look at the containers that we are having within our fleet, we are actually able to transport containers with temperatures down to -60 degrees. This is what we call super freezers, and it's quite an interesting way of making sure that we preserve the freshness in particularly of seafood, but more about this later. Back to our cold store that we are building, then we are also trying to achieve a 5-star green rating, which will be one of the first cold stores ever where we are using solar panels. We'll be able to enable the green supply chain with truck capability to plug in the truck so we can recharge and use electric trucks in the future. So a lot really linked to sustainability within the supply chain and really driving this end to end, not only as part of the ocean transport where we offer accessibility to green products, but also on the land side supply chain, which is really important. This is also something that we have seen change when it comes to the demand for green products and sustainable solutions throughout the supply chain. And we have many of our customers that are choosing the Maersk Eco Delivery product, where we are transporting our cargo using biofuel, but also now green methanol, with the first vessel ever to be operated on green methanol phasing into our fleet late last year. So really, the key trends that we are seeing is technology within the supply chain to drive visibility and prevent food waste, the integrated supply chain, where we see one-stop shop to enable us to adjust different destinations based on demand, where we have an agile supply chain and can respond to changes in demand, as well as increasing the value add here in Australia before we export the product, to make sure that the revenue to the country and that we get for our high-class products really are maximized.
Really love your electrification initiatives. That's brilliant. Let's talk a bit about innovation and food waste. I read that Maersk has an innovative product called Captain Peter that supports sustainability in supply chain and reduced food waste. Can you tell me a bit about this and the value to your customers and the environment?
Absolutely. Actually, I'm really happy that you heard about our precious product called Captain Peter. As you know, the reefer cargo is a precious commodity. Variation in temperatures, delays in transport or packing, or improper stuffing can spoil the fresh produce. It is very important to have full visibility of the cargo to take decisions on the go. Each year, 13% of the global fresh produce is lost in the cold chain between harvest and retailer, which equivalents to millions of dollars in revenue lost, partly due to lack of visibility and delays in decision-making for cargo handling. On the technologies that we invested in Maersk for more than a decade now is called Remote Container Management, RCM, that creates an end-to-end visibility of the condition inside the box. You have to know that 99% of our fleet, Maersk fleet reefer containers, is supported by this technology, which is a traceability technology. With the introduction of a virtual assistant called Captain Peter, which is actually named after our dear colleague that is now retired, Captain Peter, after 40 years of service, we introduced this branding of this RCM technology to our customers in the late 2019, and the customer experience has become even better. The AI-enabled avatar will assist customers along the cargo transportation journey by keeping an eye on the container temperature, humidity, oxygen, CO2 levels that they might need to follow during that. Our industry is really a backstage industry. We have robust operational procedures where the cargo is followed and hypercared by the various teams around the world. Every step on the way has a system of alarms that triggers based on the level of criticality. So the technicians, the vendors, terminals, commercial people can always check and review the unit's performance. At Maersk, we were the first one to inject more transparency into the supply chain by sharing more data and information to the customer, as we've foreseen the benefit of reducing the food waste overall that way. Since the launch in 2017, we have more and more customers subscribing to Captain Peter and helping adding features into the platform by discussions and doing trial with them. Customers have the possibility to download the data log and share it directly with their stakeholders, make better decisions. We can provide the GPS location, off-power time period, and personalized notifications so the customer can have the information they need to make optimal decision prior cargo arrival and have more control on the outturn of their cargo and then minimize food waste. I would like to talk about the latest version that we have of this amazing product, which is the integrated version of it, which enables an API, which is an integration of application for more collaboration with shipment parties and end-to-end data integration into the daily workflow. We really believe by doing so, we can allow more customers and more stakeholders into visibility into the cold chain.
And let's also maybe give an example on how it works in reality. So as I mentioned before, although many of our customers are looking to integrate their supply chain and look for end-to-end solutions, there are still multiple parties today that often are involved in the transportation journey of the container. For example, our customers might use a third-party packing company that is required to freeze the cargo to a certain set point before they pack the precious product into the container to make sure that the cargo itself does not change temperature. If this is the case, that the third-party packer did the packing too quickly and the temperature was not reduced to the right setting, this alarm that Lisia is talking about will start to go off. And our customer can see already there is an issue, that something has been tampered with within the supply chain that is impacting the goods. Then they can give a quick call to the packer and say, hey, sorry, we can see now that you are not following protocol and the cargo temperature is actually changing outside the range of the acceptable range. So now we need to take action to make sure that we don't transport the cargo in this type of setting, because let's say the setting might have been incorrect as well. Then we can adjust it before there is a negative impact on the cargo itself. So Captain Peter really allows us to be proactive throughout each step of the transportation chain, no matter which supplier it is that is handling the cargo and is responsible for the cargo care.
It's a brilliant, innovative solution. I can see that having a huge impact on the food waste in the sector. Thank you, and quite an honour to your captain. There is a lot of technology involved in enabling the temperature-controlled supply chain. Can you explain how technology supports the movement of perishable goods through the global supply chain? And perhaps give a few examples of how perishable food products transported to and from Australia benefits from this technology?
Absolutely, yes. At Maersk, we have massive investments in innovation into the refrigerated transport. So we have many examples of that, one of them being the technology to control the atmosphere in reefer in refrigerated containers is available today to our customers and affordable for small-scale farmers and cooperatives in growth markets. So the reefer that we call control atmosphere are special reefers that enable the transportation of fragile food at the right condition and preserve the perishable produce and improve the shelf life of the goods over longer distance than previously. Okay, so this technology is based on the concept of an effective, simple and low energy controlled atmosphere system built into our equipment that enables the careful monitoring and control of the amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide inside the container to bring down the respiration, the moisture loss and ripening of the fresh produce. We have many examples of application in our area. So the system has particularly proven its value for the banana. We import some from Latin America into New Zealand with increase of the transportation. Or we have another example with the export of avocados from Australia to Asia, where we have seen the recent effort in Australia for opening new trade agreements to send the premium product to the new market. So at Maersk, we always work with customers to test it out and trial new commodities for them to reach new markets. So I advise anybody interested to always reach Maersk so we can test the product with them, with our technology, and develop it in cooperation with them always. We invest in future technologies. Also, there is a new one that you can maybe see behind me. It's called StarRipe. So this is a controlled ripening. So it's a fresh addition to our reefer fleet. It's a special reefer as well. This innovative solution combines the benefit of a StarCare, a CA-controlled reefer unit, with the ripening functionalities. This is a revolution in the cold chain sector, because with StarRipe, our customers can now effortlessly attain the preferred banana color and ripeness stage en route, ensuring longer shelf life, flexibility, and cost efficiency. So for example, they don't need to wait to put the product into the chambers for ripening. They can straight away send them to the last mile into the retail to the end customers. So this was after discussions with customers. They expressed the need for new technology. We invested in it, and then we got the product ready for them. I would like to mention another example for Australia. For example, there is another one we called MTS, so it's called multi-set point. the customer when they have the need to change the set point during a transit, let's say from Australia to Europe for the onions. So there is this possibility to change the temperature set point during the transit. We support our onion exporters from Australia when they, for example, they start sending their fresh produce to the European market during summer shortage, where temperatures have to be monitored to ensure premium quality to the goods. With the reefer container set point is requested to be changed after the booking has been released, it is required several important steps in the process to be fulfilled. So by combining processes, softwares, and technology, we are able to help deliver this option timely to our customers every season. And lastly, I would like to speak about our super freezers that Mie was mentioning at the beginning. So this is a very special technology also because it's a very niche and requires a lot of investment and effort. So from the sea to the supermarket, the Australia tuna industry of today relies on unbroken supply chain that can help ensure that the fish remain fresh on its long journey till destination, right? So our customers' visibility and reliability are crucial for their business. With cold chain offering like super freezer containers that are ultra low temperature, they are able to maintain that temperature as low as minus 60 degrees Celsius, which is an ideal solution for carriage of frozen tuna fish from down under across oceans and lands and provide them with a peace of mind. So recently we have invested into new equipment, more efficient, more sustainable in this scope, and we have new softwares developed to support the tuna industry from Australia.
You guys really are on the forefront of innovation. Lastly, myself and I'm sure many of our viewers are interested in understanding future innovations that will enable the global food supply chain. At Maersk, are you working on any new products that will enable new opportunities in this space?
Yes, so using renewable energies on site and for mobile equipment is key for cold chain transportation footprint in general. So Maersk is supporting this transition with tangible actions by phasing out energy inefficient and uncompliant infrastructure across the globe, including Oceania, of course. This effort is backed up with investment in green cold storage, the example of the Hamilton mentioned previously, and also additional processes and new technologies built into the refrigerator containers that we provide to our customers, as we always seek to improve the cool box and the vessel's footprints, also moving the goods, as you may have seen on our first vessel using green methanol. So overall, future innovations will go hand in hand with visibility and connectivity, which are key for global food supply chain. Better tools will need to come in place, providing more precisions to ensure efficiency and safety of the goods, of the people, and the systems, right? These technologies will also augment the food traceability end-to-end, which is a feature highly requested by our customers in Oceania and worldwide in general. Captain Peter is one of those technologies, but there is many of them to come. At Maersk also, we participate in food waste projects with universities and customers with the end goal to create prediction models for food freshness and remaining shelf life, with the end goal to limit the food waste, of course. And lastly, I would like to say that it is very important in order to reap the full benefit of these innovations, we as an industry must collectively overcome the challenge of interoperability and responsible data sharing in order to create a fully connected, resilient, and green supply chain that we all seek to achieve.
Thank you for watching The Green Economy. See you all next time.